I got to work with all the brands from Givenchy, Balenciaga, Dior, all of it. And I was in there. It was really great. My name is Papama Mtwisha, and I was born in Port Elizabeth, which is a town in the Eastern Cape. And I left Port Elizabeth when I was very young. Went to Cape Town, which is what I regard my home. And then I grew up there, did primary school, high school there, and then left Cape Town to come to Johannesburg when I was ready to go to tertiary. And I've been in Joburg now for 23 years, which is the longest time. It's like the longest city I've ever lived in full time. But Cape Town is still home. I go there very often. And yeah. After design school, I did my internship at a magazine because I studied fashion design, and they taught me the skill of how to make stuff from scratch. So I had that on lock. Then whilst I was in magazines, I worked for a retail project called Luminance, which is when everything changed for me. I consulted for them as a creative director, which meant that every second month or second week I was out of the country, attending fashion weeks all over the world and going to showrooms. I got to work with all the brands. It was like an MBA, but firsthand, from Givenchy, Balenciaga, Dior, all of it. And I was in there. It was really great. And I was very deliberate about wearing local brands because obviously I was working with local designers with my magazine stuff. But everywhere I went, I would get compliments. And it gave me such pride to say, oh no, this is a David Tlale top, this is a Marie Macloy earring. And then the one time I was sitting at an Oscar de la Renta showroom watching their runway, and the finale garment was a dress that was exactly the same dress as a David Tlale dress. The only difference was the length. I think the Oscar de la Renta dress was like 120,000 rands conversion, and the David Tlale cost whatever it cost in rands. And the difference is that the label, made in France or made in Italy, made in US versus made in Africa. So I knew when I went back into fashion, making stuff, I needed to do something more than just making beautiful garments. It needed to be a movement. It needed to be something that gets us as Africans to believe in ourselves a little bit more. So that's how Africa Your Time Is Now was birthed. I would say be brave enough to make those calls, like I did. As I said, I cold called the magazines. I was a student. I didn't have connections, and I was from Cape Town, and I'm now in Joburg all by myself. Make the call, make the appointment, do your research first of all. Research within yourself to know exactly where in fashion you want to play, because it's quite a wide industry. There's merchandising, there's design, there's styling, which is also what I do. Just know exactly what it is that you want to do, and intern. Do those interns, get in there, shadow people. Nothing can be too or should be too menial for you to do, because that's how you learn. Get your hands dirty, and also once you're there, make yourself indispensable. So make your mark and add value, whilst you're learning, so that it's a mutually beneficial situation. So that, because I think people or potential employers will always give first dibs to someone they've had an experience with. I'm an eternal optimist by nature, much to a lot of people's annoyance. I always see the silver lining in any situation. I've always been like that. So, and I think that's why I'm in a business that's all about spreading a positive message, because adversities are guaranteed. I don't care how pretty, how educated, how rich you are. It's the way life's designed. That's how you grow. For as long as you're not growing or, working on some challenge, then you die. It's no one's exempt from it. You will fall, but it's about how quickly and how successfully you pick yourself up again and just continue with it. Going global was always the intention. So I needed to make sure that the message was broad enough to appeal, to also get African people to have the conversations amongst themselves. What does this message mean? What is it that we can do to contribute positively to take this message further, or to help the continent to make sure? Because the biggest misconception that we've been sold is that a weak Africa is good for those that need it weak. Everyone needs and will benefit from an Africa that's self-sufficient. But it all starts somewhere. We can't all give up hope and think, we're in a rut. It's been like this for centuries. We need to be that difference. And it starts with you. It starts with me, you know? So that's why I do what I do, because I trained as a fashion designer. But instead of just making just clothes, which there's nothing wrong with, beautiful clothes for the sake of beautiful clothes, I needed to make sure that the message was always top of mind. Yeah. It's a reminder, and it's an energy that's there.